Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. There's a whole bunch of nerdy news out there, so let's talk about it. The Hasbro Marvel Legends team just had a whole bunch of reveals. I spoke about those on the previous video, but the quick recap is we're getting the PS5 Spider-Man wave. So we're getting a whole bunch of alternate Peters and Miles in their different costumes. We're getting a deluxe Kingpin, and we're also getting a gigantic deluxe Venom as well. Plus, for a couple of comic book characters, we're going to get a 2-pack of Warpath, there it is, and X-23. And if you want to hear my thoughts on those, and boy howdy, do I have some, then you can check out the previous video. Storm Arena, they are riding the momentum that they've built up, and it's going to be quite a journey. Now, Ryu from their Street Fighter Alpha 3 line is up for pre-order, so you can park your money at Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth, wherever you buy your action figures, because he and Ken together, God, these guys, for like $26, I've said it before, so I'm not going to linger on it, but my goodness, I don't know how Storm Collectibles are doing this, and maybe some other action figure companies are like, yo, could you not, please? Because you're showing the customers what you can do for under $30, and it's making us look bad. Let's see if the prices stay that way. And we're going to be testing them because we are going to be moving on from Ken and Ryu. They are teasing 3 more additions to the Alpha lineup. I'm such a doofus. Yes, they have teased 3, but also they've revealed Sagat, as you can see in the picture that I was literally looking at when I was talking about this. So there you go, we're definitely getting Sagat, and they're teasing 3 other mystery characters who aren't really mysteries, with silhouettes that clearly look like Chun-Li, Charlie, and Dan. And this is really fun because Dan, I'm sure we must have had a Dan figure from someone somewhere down the line, but I don't know when. Dan is a great fun character, basically designed, if you don't know, to be rubbish. He's like Ken and Ryu, except his gi is pink, because he left it in the washer with some red clothes. He wears a t-shirt under his gi because he's not quite as buff as the other guys. He has a fireball, but it doesn't actually fully leave his hand. He sucks, but he sucks in a brilliant way. He's a lot of fun. Then Chun-Li in her more kind of athletic gear. That's probably going to look great. And then Charlie, who was like the proto-Guile. He was Guile's friend, who Bison does away with, that Guile then has to come and avenge. And I think in Street Fighter lore, Charlie gets turned into like a Shadow Lore cyborg, something like that. So there could be a variant down the line as well. So, yeah. There's a lot to be excited about with this Storm Arena line. Come on, Dave! Get those words out. And speaking of Street Fighters, if you like your Street Fighters a little bigger, more badass looking, well, I mean, Storm Arena are pretty badass too, but you're hard-pressed to get more badass than Akuma, especially at 1/6 scale. Iconic Studios have just revealed this mean big bad boy. They've done Ken and Ryu, both of those. Really beautiful 1/6 scale figures. And a lot of people, myself included, were wondering, are we going to get any more? Yes, we are. There he is, and he looks real good. I'm guessing, because I'm not sure if this was the case with Ken and Ryu. I think it was, but seamless joints, so it looks like a silicone type body, then with the cloth goods over the top. Very pretty. Then with the pinky purple power, dark Hado type effects. Boy, I ain't a 1/6 scale collector, but if I was, I mean, I kind of am. I've got the 1/6 Cammy. I mean, she's got to have someone to fight, right? No, those are thoughts I don't need to entertain. But man, this dude does look good. Guys, time to take a quick pause for the cause and tell you about this channel sponsor. You know who it is. It's Legendsverse. If anyone in this world works harder than I do, and they probably do, then Legendsverse is one of them. At first, it was just a basic cataloging and correlating collection action figure webpage. And then they were like, no, that's just not good enough. Let's add the other toys. Which other toys? Pretty much all of them. I cannot believe how many different lines are covered here. They've just added a whole bunch, and I mean like a crazy amount of Hot Toys on there as well. Add those to the Marvel Legends, McFarlane, Mafex, DC Multiverse, Mezco, Jada, Figure Arts. There's too many for me to rattle off. Not only that, but they do competitions as well, which is just kind of fun. I would do that too if I was more organized. So right now, if you go and take a look at Legendsverse, and I think just grab yourself an account on there, then you can enter this action figure photo competition that they're doing, where you can win a brand new Mafex Spider-Man. So yeah, this is a website that gives back to you. And it gives back to me as well, because they sponsor this channel. So they're keeping Dave alive. Guys, go check them out. You'll be glad you did. Now, you might want to sit down because this may shock you, but McFarlane Toys are making some new Batman figures. I know, I couldn't believe it either. But who can blame them when they've already sold out on Big Bad Toy Store? Hopefully they are available elsewhere. So they're doing the movie Batman again. We're getting the Christian Bale, Batman Begins Batman, and we're also getting the, of course, 89 Batman, which doesn't have the cowl quite right because he can move his head, which that was always a staple of the 89 costume, was that Michael Keaton couldn't actually move his head. So it looks a bit wrong having head articulation. I can understand why they did it though. So yeah, these are also $22.99 each, which is a great price, I think, for the look of the characters. The soft goods cape, again, kind of like Storm Arena, showing what you can do for a reasonable price. Maybe that's why the pre-orders have sold out. Hopefully, as I said, if you want them, you can find them somewhere besides Big Bad Toy Store. Shop around. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Hot Toys are going back to the well and re-releasing their Terminator 2 T-800 figure. This is a work of beautiful art. I know, because I've got it. But I don't have this version though. They have actually made a few tweaks, thrown in some extras, and it is a bit of a different package. So if you missed out on the original one and you're a Terminator fan, honestly, you're not going to find a better way to spend $290. I know that sounds like a lot of money. Why? Because it is. But I mean, this thing really is glorious. It's just it's everything that a 1/6 scale Terminator figure should be. The Arnold likeness, I think, is fantastic. The minigun is awesome. You got the different clothes, swap out different options. Yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to sell it to you. It's not like I got any skin in the game, but dang it, if I did, it would be organic skin over a metal endoskeleton, which is the coolest kind of skin there is. Pre-orders are up now for some more beautiful NECA Ninja Turtles figures. I've spoken about these before, so I'll just be very quick with them. You've got the Last Ronin Ghost Brothers, so Raphael, Donatello, and Leonardo in their spectral, ghostly forms. They actually look kind of beautiful, I think, paired up with Michelangelo as the Last Ronin. That's a really pretty display, that would be. Then $99 for the three of those. And then you got this gorgeous looking deluxe. You got the old Leatherhead. And he's going to be $49.99. So they ain't cheap, but NECA rarely are. But certainly when I'm looking at the pictures of Leatherhead, oh yeah, you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck with that. That's a fun looking alligator figure. Or a crocodile. Help me out. Mondo are just picking all these different franchises. Now they're doing Adventure Time. I was not the Adventure Time demographic. I was too grown up and just being a boring old working Joe by the time this show came out, but I understand the quirky kids loved it. And now you can get the dog and the boy, I guess. Is he a boy? I assume so. So we're getting Adventure Time Jake and Finn figure set. So for the two of them, it's going to be $145. These Mondos, they don't ever come cheap. At least you got a lot of different options to go with them. Different faces, accessories, all these things. Actually, there's a standard edition, which is $135, but then there's an exclusive one, which is $145. Going to get you a couple of extra options in there as well. Should be shipping out around about September. So for all you kids who watched Adventure Time and that are now grizzled old adults, first of all, welcome to the party. And secondly, you might want to pick this up. Gotta get back to the past, Samurai Jack. That's one of the coolest theme tunes ever. I had a real treat a few years ago when I decided to sit down and finally watch not only Samurai Jack, but also Cowboy Bebop as well. Talk about two shows to just watch going back and forth and back and forth. What a great time that was. And Cowboy Bebop, another absolute banger of a theme tune. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the Mezco Samurai Jack. Been teased and promised for a while. Well, here it is. Going to be $95, up for pre-order now, and should be releasing around about August or October. Looking at the different face portraits, you can have just about any pose, any situation, anything you want with the different hair sculpts as well. Man, it's a beautiful looking package. It really is. I think Mezco, words are hard today. Mezco have done a really great job with this. Joy Toy, man, they are just cranking their way through every single character in the Ninja Turtles. At first, I thought they were just going to do the original four. Then we got a couple of villains. Then Shredder and Krang and Foot Soldiers and April. And now we're getting even more. And honestly, it's a joy every time I see them reveal these guys. So now we're getting Casey Jones. And Casey Jones, I always love seeing different artistic interpretations and iterations. Kind of like Krang. It's always fun to see how different companies restyle them in their own image. Casey Jones looks great. And then we're getting 3 big, chunky, honking dinosaur boys. So we're going to be getting Captain Zorax. We're getting Triceraton Infantrymen, which might as well be called Triceraton Army Builder. Words! Come on, Dave! You can tell when I'm filming after work. My brain's just jelly. And then also we're getting Adjutant Zork. Yeah, the scales and the texture and the paintwork on those Triceratons. Oh, man, they might not be 1/12. They might be the smaller scale, but dang it, they look amazing. Hiya Toys are doing a Heat Ray Godzilla. This is from Legendary, and I'm not such a big fan of the Legendary Godzillas, but you know what? They're still pretty good. Godzilla's like pizza, even when he's not the best. It's still pretty good. This is going to be $51, going to be releasing around about the 4th quarter of this year. One thing I'll say about Hiya is they are certainly prolific. So if you do want to collect all the different kaiju from the Legendary Godzilla line, they've been cranking out a whole bunch of them. So the whole set together, I always love that. Always give credit. When you start a line, you finish a line. It shouldn't be something that people get credit for, but in this day and age, it can be a bit of a rarity. So I respect Hiya for doing that. I mean, hey, it's almost like they love money. Go figure. Sticking with kaijus, up on Hobby Genki, got a couple of fun Hedorah figures up for pre-order. I love the monsters, how they will evolve throughout the movies, and Hedorah is a classic example. So first of all, they've got this pop vinyl style Hedorah underwater life form. So it's kind of like this little tadpole type version of Hedorah that you can get. I think the colors look beautiful. Really, this oil slick kind of purple and black sort of look. Really, really great. And it makes sense for a pollution type monster. And then they've got Hedorah when he comes on land. So it's the AMC Hedorah quadruped form. Both of these, for soft vinyl fans, I think you might want to take a close look at these because they're weird, bizarre, very, very strange, but also a whole lot of fun. Some comic book news now, and this is a real big surprise and such wonderful welcome news. Marvel and DC are button heads in a good way. Finally, after over 2 decades, we're getting Marvel vs. DC crossover comics. I don't know what behind the scenes, business to business machinations happened to make this occur, but boy, am I glad that it did. This is wonderful. So this was announced at Comics Pro, a comic book retailer summit that happened over the last couple of days. So this was Editor-in-Chief at DC Comics, Marie Javins, and Marvel's Editor-in-Chief, C.B. Cebulski. They had a big speech and they said, yeah, this is happening. In 2025, there's going to be 2 one-shots. We're getting DC doing DC/Marvel, and we're getting Marvel doing Marvel/DC. What will these involve? No idea. No other details have been released besides the fact that it's happening. Let the speculation begin. Let the hype begin. Are they going to be versus books? Are they going to be team-ups? Is it going to be the classic butt heads, then come to an understanding, then fight the villain? Who knows? All I know is we're getting Marvel versus DC again. And hey, look, with McFarlane making Marvel statues, things like cross-pollinating a bit, you know what? We're not going to get amalgam figures, but that's what you were thinking, wasn't it? Hey, you know, maybe there's a Dark Claw in our future. I highly doubt it, but it's nice to dream. Also coming from Marvel, we are getting Bring On the Bad Guys, which is a bunch of one-shots as part of the One World Under Doom storyline, which I thought looks kind of interesting here. So the little synopsis is that Mephisto aims to wield something called the Soul Forge with Doom and a new villainous character called Sister Sorrow taking key points in this plot, probably trying to stop him. So Sister Sorrow looks pretty cool. I don't know what her deal is, but I'm interested to find out. I like the design. Looks pretty badass. So this is going to be 7 one-shots. I believe it's 7. And this kind of mirrors a previous Bring On the Bad Guys from like way back in the long ago. So what's old is new again. So we're getting a Green Goblin one-shot, also Abomination, Loki, Red Skull, Dormammu, and Mephisto, along with Doom himself. So yeah, 7 villainous one-shots that all tie this story together. You know, I love a good bad guy. So starting off in July this year, I believe, is when it kicks off. We're going to get a whole bunch of them. I'm kind of on board for this. And back over to DC, Batman is going to have a big summer this year. Not only are we going to get Hush 2 from Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb, but also he's going to be relaunched with a new issue number 1 and a slight redesign in September. So once again, like the crossover, as revealed at Comics Pro Retailer event, the new volume of Batman will be written by Matt Fraction, who has a great pedigree behind him, and the current Batman artist, Jorge Jimenez. I'm not good with pronouncing names. I hope that that's right. So he's remaining on board to continue with his Batman run. The costume, I like it. It's kind of back to basics. And call me a traditionalist. I kind of like that. The big bat symbol, it's very much classic grey and blue Batman. And I dig that. So will I dip my toe back into some more DC come September? Looking at the creative lineup and the art that they've shown so far, I think I could be tempted to. In Artist Alley, shout out to Marv Del Mundo. I love this art style. Bright, bold, cartoony, like Disney, if Disney had no qualms about making the characters look as cheesecakey ridiculous as possible. And I'm here for it. So dude, keep up the amazing work. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. You'll probably be glad you did. Or you'll be like, that is ridiculous. And I'm here for it. And in Cosplay Corner, a shout out to Haley Cosplay. I saw her in her Mary Jane Spider-Man kind of crossover photo set. I thought that was awesome. Went to check out the Instagram page, and lo and behold, would you Adam and Eve it? She's got a whole bunch of other awesome cosplay on there. So go take a look. And folks, that does it for good news for today. What did you think about the items covered? Comment below. Let me know. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then you know what you gotta do. You gotta join the 6-1 clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And if you want to go one step beyond and supporting the channel, then you can do by joining the literally hundreds now. I love saying that. The hundreds of Model Behaviour channel members who get to enjoy the extra Model Behaviour live streams that I do nearly every single day. We get together, we talk about all the news of the day, what's been going on with us, our personal lives, dreams, goals, ambitions. We talk about everything. And it's always a good time. It's the favorite way that I start my day. So guys, shout out to all of you members of the Model Behaviour Underground. And if you want to join them, you just got to click the little button down there. But you know what? If you don't want to do that, I respect that too. You're a person of principle, and I can't argue against it. So you know what? I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you did if you watched this far, unless you're a real glutton for punishment. In which case, thanks for sticking around. So guys, until next time, keep displaying model behaviour.
Coffee. Big time.